Today I am revisiting an old makeover that was intended to be a bar, and I'm gonna go ahead and switch that up to make it a room designated for my hobbies outside of carpentry. My beautiful YouTube family. Last week we did this porch swing together, and it is hands down one of my favorite builds that I've ever done, specifically on my property. And I love that I can watch the sunrise every morning, but what I am not a fan of now is that I am looking at every single unfinished project that I promised myself 2 years ago I'd do when I first moved in here to the party pad. What is the party pad for those of you that do not know? It's that damn structure. Okay, so there's a couple of projects that are in the works, but the one that I'm going to show you today is revisiting the room that I actually completely hated when I did it. The decor of this makeover is definitely a reflection of who I was at the time. A hot mess. I wanted to party all the time. I was all over the place. And now that we've been here for a bit and found our ground, I would like to bring you in and show you the romantic side of me, the fine-tuned, cozy, passionate side. There really is no way around this wall besides either demoing it or covering it up completely. I didn't want to do either of that, so what I did is started to tape out a design. The green you see is going to be a space for artwork that I will be able to change out, so I can change this vibe of the room anytime I want. The blue you see going on the wall, now that, my friend, is going to be some shelving that is very easy to make, because to make this space more functional, I need to add shelving to be able to add things into this room to use it. So we are going to be turning this mirrored wall into a very like old librarian study-esque vibe. I came in with some 1/4-inch ply, birch ply actually, to be the backing of where I would like to put the art, and these pieces are just getting placed over cracks in the mirror or around different cuts that I made that weren't perfect, because like I said, on camera this looks great, but in person it's very budget. So that takes care of the green tape up on the wall that we originally did, and now we're moving on to the blue tape with the pine. So I'm using 1 by 8 inch by 8 foot pine. I am distressing it with a hammer and some nails and screws, which Tori did off camera, and she doesn't like to be recorded, so just deal with that. Miss Allie and I are here sanding it down with an 80 grit. I don't want to sand it down super smooth. I want it to kind of look rough. I don't know why. That was just my intention. And then we moved over to staining it with a Jacobine stain, which is just like this deep, beautiful, like old brown. I don't know. I really love it. After that was all stained, we brought that into the room and started kind of leaning up the pine where we were going to place it. Basically, we are doing 3 different columns to this bookshelf. One is going to have that beautiful arched mirror right in the middle. The other 2 are more for styling and function. In order to add the shelves, what we're going to be doing is a half lap joint. It's very easy. I'm going to be measuring where I would like to put these shelves and cutting out half of the depth of the wood that I would like to slide into the pine. Sounds crazy, but really what you're doing is just cutting half of the width of the wood and then the thickness of the wood you're sliding into it. To create the shelf going into it, all you have to do is basically cut that length and depth notch out onto the end pieces of the wood you would like to create shelves as. I mean, it's easier to watch than me to explain it. I slid those shelves into place, and there's not many of them because this room is small and it's going to be a chaotic room anyways, and I'm just trying my best to make it beautiful. Anyways, so we slid the shelves into place, and then I put a second piece of pine on the inside where the arched mirror is to kind of cap the joint that we just did so you don't see it, and to also make the wood seem like it's a little bit thicker than what it really is. This gorgeous piece of wood is from my guest room. I'm moving everything out of my house in preparation for renovation and design, but it fit perfectly right up here, and I just love that bolt still hanging because it adds that texture. To make that wood look thicker than it is and to really just fine tune this shelving situation, I went in with some decorative trim that I stained the Jacobine just like the spines, and I installed that with my nail gun. I have dishwashing gloves on because that's the only gloves I had for staining. I digress. I popped that trim onto the edge of each spine that was stained the Jacobine, not on the shelves, just on the spines. For me, it just cleans this build up a bit. It almost just like adds a cap to it and makes it look like I spent more time on it than I did, because this really was just like not even an afternoon project. I continued that decorative trim idea with different pieces of decorative trim around the areas I would like to add wall decor. And I am adding wall decor thanks to my friends over at Displate. And you guys, I'm not even kidding. I am such a huge fan of Displate after this makeover.
So what is Displate? Well, they are the leading marketplace for unique metal posters. Yes, metal posters sounds a little bit crazy, but let me tell you, they're absolutely stunning. They've sold over 5 million posters all over the world. Their main markets are US, UK, France, and Germany. They are working with over 40,000 artists, which offers you access to 1.5 million pieces of work. And among them, you will find literally something for every space in your home, which you can totally see right here. My picks are very curated for the study because it's about gardening and plants and, well, of course, mushrooms. But I also linked some of my other favorites down below for you as well. My heart hurts just a little bit, but you do not need power tools to install these. These are magnet mounted. Everything comes with it. There are these cleaning wipes that I didn't record myself using for some reason, so I'm sorry for that, but you clean the wall first, and then you put these protective leaves on, and then you smack this magnet right on top of it, and you press it down for at least 5 seconds, and the dang poster, you guys, I know this is dumb because it's like that's how it works, but it just pops on up there. You can move it around, you can shift it, you can swap it out super easy. You literally do not have to use power tools. My mind was a little bit blown, honestly. If you guys are interested in getting some of your own Displate wall decor, I linked it in the pinned comment and in my description box. You can go ahead and get 1 to 2 Displates for 25% off or 3 or more Displates for 29% off. It's all calculated when you click the link down below. Pipe and flange DIYs really come in handy a lot of the times for me, so I'm just gonna be using a floor flange, connect a nipple to it, and then do a 90-degree elbow, and then add a 48-inch rod that is already pre-cut at Home Depot.
This space right here can be changed. There's longer pieces available, so if you need more space, give it to yourself, but I don't need much at all.
And then insert that into the 90-degree elbow and repeat that to the other side, because that then becomes a rod that we will be hanging into the wall, which will become an area for dried floral. I've always wanted to arrange dried florals, and just because I buy so many flowers and I want to start growing my own flowers, so it would just be fun to make dried floral bouquets. I definitely, looking back, wouldn't do 3/4 inch. I would do a 1/2 inch just to make it a little bit skinnier and possibly paint it a different color because the black is a bit aggressive. Maybe have done it in copper, but it's just that it's a little bit more pricey. For decor, I'm really I love mixing tools and just nature, specifically because this room is where I'm coming to study about my desert land. It's right next to the garden. It's where I'm also going to be throwing my own pottery down, because part 2 to this room makeover is that it is also a pottery station. I do love that I'm strategically decorating based off of cracks that I couldn't cover up with the shelving as well. I wanted to do a blend of just colors that made me happy, honestly. I really believe that you should be decorating for yourself or whoever is in the space. And I also wanted to make it fun yet functional. That's always my thing. If you're studying, you gotta lounge. So I brought in this N-Teen Article lounge chair and Naro side table that also chics it up a bit because those are nicer pieces. I've linked them down below for you as well. And then I added that shroom Displate poster over by the chair to bring the artwork over onto that wall. And I trimmed that out again with some decorative trim to pull the wood tones to that wall as well. Man, I personally love Allie's reactions when she leaves for the weekend and comes back to work on Monday and sees how much I've done. So I wanted to show you her reaction to the space being fully finished on Monday when she came back.
Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. Rachel.
You love it?
Oh my God.
It's crazy
oh
different.
Oh my God. The prints, that is gorgeous.
You love, come see the details.
Oh my God.
Crazy, right? What an absolute trip to look back at what this used to look like and what I turned it into and what I wanted it to be at the time and who I was at the time to what it is now. It's like fully the first space I've ever made for myself that has nothing to do with tools or like carpentry or woodworking. This is literally just for my brain, my hobby brain of tried florals and throwing pottery and just studying what I want to study. Like, I'm tripping out that as I'm voicing this over, I'm realizing like, whoa, this space, Rachel Metz, is for you. This is not for anybody else, homegirl. I cannot wait for the pottery wheel to get here so I can get moving to complete this space and show you just how I'm going to start a new hobby in pottery. Maybe we'll do a YouTube live of me throwing down and doing a Q&A. Who knows? But thank you so much for being here, you guys. It feels so good to be actively back here on the YouTube with my YouTube family. I love you guys so very much. I will see you so soon for another DIY.